What is the largest plane to date? It is well known that the A380 is the largest passenger jet ever built and will continue to be until something even more enormous comes along. In today's video, we will review this jet and other large passenger planes, cargo aircraft, and one-off developments that can be measured in various ways, including length, weight, volume, and wingspan. We'll attempt an overview of multiple planes, but remember that this list is not exhaustive. Newer jets are constantly in development to break old records. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more intriguing videos like this, and be sure to watch this video to the end. Let's blast off with the first jet on this list. Number 5. Scaled Composites Stratolaunch. Starting with the end of the list, the Scaled Composites Model 351 Stratolaunch, or ROC, is a Stratolaunch Systems aircraft designed to carry air-launched-to-orbit rockets. It was introduced in December 2011 and became available in May 2017. The aircraft has a twin fuselage design and the largest wingspan ever flown, at 385 feet. It exceeds the 321-foot wingspan of the Hughes H-4 Hercules flying boat. The Stratolaunch can carry a payload of 550,000 pounds and sustain a maximum takeoff weight of 1,300,000 pounds. It launches its rocket at 35,000 feet. Following the death of the founder of the Stratolaunch plan, Paul Allen, in October 2018, the business stated that it would discontinue the development of its air-launched family of launch vehicles. The aircraft flew for the first time on April 13, 2019. The following month, the firm halted operations and listed all corporate assets, including the aircraft, for sale for $400 million by June 2019. In October 2019, Cerberus Capital Management acquired Stratolaunch Systems, including the Stratolaunch aircraft. The plane company declared in December 2019 that it would switch to focus on high-speed flight testing. Much of the equipment, including the engines, avionics, flight deck, landing gear, and other systems, have been adapted from the Boeing 747-400 to help lower development costs. In addition, the flight controls incorporate 12 hydraulically powered cable-driven ailerons, split rudders, and horizontal stabilizers on twin-tail units. The beautifully designed wings have 14 trailing edge split flaps that are electrically signaled and hydraulically actuated, as well as speed brakes. Number 4. Hughes H-4 Hercules. Next up on the list is the Hughes H-4 Hercules. It is a Hughes Aircraft Company prototype strategic airlift flying plane. It was intended to be a transatlantic flying carrier for service during World War II, but it was not finished in time. The aircraft only flew once, on November 2, 1947, and the project never progressed beyond the only model manufactured. It sounds like a tragedy. It seemed genuinely magnificent. Because of wartime restrictions on the use of aluminum and weight concerns, the aircraft was called the Spruce Goose by critics, even though it was almost entirely made of birch. The Hercules is the largest flying boat ever built, and it had the widest wingspan of any aircraft ever flown until April 13, 2019, when the Scaled Composites Stratolaunch took to the skies. Since the plane was in excellent condition, it was displayed in Long Beach, California from 1980 to 1992. It is now on display at the Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum in McMinnville, Oregon, USA. Let's rewind to 1942 when the United States War Department needed to deploy war material and soldiers to Britain. Allied shipping in the Atlantic Ocean was suffering enormous losses at the time due to German U-boats, and there was a need for an airplane capable of crossing the Atlantic with a significant payload. Wartime priorities meant the aircraft could not be made of strategic materials like aluminum. This was the birth of the Hughes H-4 Hercules plane. Hughes resumed the development on his own under the designation of H-4 Hercules, signing a new government contract that limited manufacturing to one example. Work moved slowly, and the H-4 was not finished until after the war ended. The plane was built at Hughes Airport in present-day Playa Vista, LA, California, using the plywood and resin Duramold technique, a type of composite technology, for the laminated wooded structure, which was regarded as a technological feat. Hughes said, "The Hercules was a monumental undertaking. It is the largest aircraft ever built. It is over 5 stories tall, with a wingspan longer than a football field. That's more than a city block. Now I put the sweat of my life into this thing. I have my reputation all rolled up in it, and I've stated several times that if it's a failure, I'll probably leave this country and never come back. And I mean it." The exquisite product that Hughes manufactured cost $23 million to develop. Number 3. Boeing 747-8. The Boeing 747-8 is the largest derivative of the 747 and a wide-body airplane produced by Boeing Commercial Airplanes. Boeing examined larger 747 versions as alternatives to the intended double-deck Airbus A380 later built as the A380 after the company had released the 747-400. On November 14, 2005, the expanded 747 Advanced was introduced as the 747-8, with a market projection of 300 aircraft. The first 747-8F freighter took to the skies on February 8, 2010, and the passenger 747-8I Intercontinental had its first takeoff on March 20, 2011. The cargo variant of the 747-8 was initially delivered in October 2011, and commercial service commenced in June 2012. This plane's fuselage is expanded by 18 feet to 250 feet, making it the world's longest airplane until the 777X debuted in 2020. The wing is bigger and deeper, carrying more fuel and wider with raked wing tips while retaining its basic structure and sweep. The Boeing 747-8 includes the 787 Dreamliner's more efficient General Electric Gen X turbofan, which increases the takeoff weight capacity to 975,000 pounds, making it the heaviest Boeing airliner. The freighter variant has a shorter upper deck and can transport 308,000 pounds over a distance of 4,120 nautical miles. Covering 7,790 nautical miles, the Intercontinental version can transport 467 passengers in a standard 3-class arrangement. There are 155 solid orders of these variants as of May 2022. 107 freighters and 48 passenger airliners, of which 152 had been delivered. The 747's production is set to conclude in 2022, with the delivery of the final 747-8F to Atlas Air. Guess we will be seeing plenty of these in the air. Number 2. Antonov An-225 Mriya. The Antonov An-225 Mriya was a strategic airlift cargo aircraft created in the Soviet Union in the 1980s by the Antonov Design Bureau. It was originally designed as an enlarged Antonov An-124 to transport Buran-class orbiters, and only one model was ever built, a rare gem. After completing its military duty, the aircraft was retired for 8 years. After that, it was repaired and brought into commercial service with Antonov Airlines, hauling enormous payloads. While a second aircraft with a slightly different configuration was largely constructed, production was repeatedly suspended due to a lack of funds and enthusiasm. The second aircraft was completed to 60 to 70% in 2009. With a maximum takeoff weight of 640 tons, the An-225 set multiple records, including being the heaviest aircraft ever built and having the greatest wingspan of any operational aircraft. The Mriya piqued the public's imagination and gained a global following because of its size and distinctiveness. People routinely visited airports to see when these planes were scheduled to arrive and depart. During the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the completed An-225 was destroyed at the Battle of Antonov International Airport. The Antonov An-225 was originally designed to transport Mriya rock boosters, as well as Soviet Buran-class orbiters, essentially a replacement for the Myashtchev VMT. The initial mission and objectives of the An-225 are nearly identical to those of the US shuttle carrier aircraft. Viktor Tomolchev was the main designer of the An-225 and the An-124. The An-225 took to the skies for the first time on December 21, 1998. It flew during the public days of the Farnborough Air Show in 1990 and was on static display at the Paris Air Show in 1989. During the late 1980s, a second An-225 was partially developed for the Soviet space program. The two planes went through various active and inactive periods of time. The lone functioning An-225 was placed in storage in 1994 following the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 and the discontinuation of the Buran program. The 6 Ivshenko Progress engines were removed and stored for use in An-124s, as was the second unfinished An-225 airframe. A cargo liner larger than the An-124 was required in the 1990s. By 2001, the first An-225 had been refurbished. The need for more An-225 capacity was obvious by 2000, hence the decision to finish the second An-225 was made into September 2006. The second airframe was supposed to be completed around 2008, but it was delayed. The aircraft had not been finished by August 2009 and work had been halted. In May 2011, the Antonov CEO reportedly stated that the building of a second An-225 Mriya transport aircraft with a carrying capacity of 250 tons would require at least $300 million. He also noted that if funding was available, the process could be completed in 3 years' time. According to various accounts, the second aircraft is now 60 to 70% complete. Number 1. Airbus A380. This tops our list of the largest planes ever made. The Airbus A380 is a large, wide-body airplane designed and manufactured by Airbus. It is the largest passenger airline in the world. The company began its research in 1988, and the project was unveiled in 1990. to challenge the Boeing 747's supremacy in the long-haul market. The then-designated A3XX proposal was presented in 1994. On December 19, 2000, Airbus launched the €9.5 billion A380 program. The prototype was shown in Toulouse on January 18, 2005, with the first flight taking place on April 27, 2005. On December 12, 2006, it received its type certificate from the European Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, and the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. It was unfortunate that the initial manufacturing was delayed by 2 years due to electrical wiring issues, and research expenses nearly had doubled. This affected the market scope for the plane. The Airbus A380 was delivered to Singapore Airlines on October 15, 2007, and commenced service on October 25, 2007. In 2012 and 2014, production peaked at 30 planes per year. However, when Emirates cut its final order in February 2019, Airbus confirmed that A380 manufacture would cease in 2021. Emirates got its 123rd A380, the 251st and final aircraft by Airbus, on December 16, 2021. The $25 billion investment did not pay off. Let's dive into the plane specifications. The full-length double-deck aircraft seats 525 passengers, on average, with a maximum certified capacity of 853 passengers. The global A380 fleet had performed approximately 800,000 flights in 7.3 million block hours as of December 2021, with no deaths or hull losses. There were 239 aircraft in service, with 16 operators globally as of June 2022. That's all for today, folks. If you found this video interesting, hit the like button and notification bell, and subscribe to our channel so you can enjoy more exciting videos just like this. Thank you for spending some time with us. Till next time.